Good evening, members from the Cork HSE branch. First of all, on behalf of myself, can I apologise to all of you for having to miss the AGM this evening. But as I explained to Patsy this morning, another round of talks with regard to the Croke Park extension situation has been convened, and we were only gathering at about 4:30, and I think it will run well into late this evening. So I'm sorry I cannot be there, but I'd ask you to understand I have to prioritise the attendance at these talks. If I had been there this evening, what my job would have been was to kind of provide you with an update, and Patsy has asked that I might do that in a very short way via this webcast. So this is my main purpose. As you hopefully know, these talks, which involve public sector management on behalf of government, that's all areas of the public sector: health, local authority, civil service, security, and so on, are all involved, and all the public sector unions that are affiliated to the Irish Congress of Trade Unions. The government has said that it wants 1 billion in additional payroll savings over the next 3 years, 2013, 14, 15, and in addition to what they had already sought in the previous Croke Park agreement. So we met on the 14th of January to begin with, and they tabled literally the A to Z of demands. Not only in terms of numbers reduction, increased flexibility through redeployment, rationalisation. They wanted to attack pay in terms of pay at the higher end of the public service. They want to cut it. They want to, they say, eliminate increments. They want to examine premium pay rates at the moment. And then they want other things about roster flexibility, substitution and supervision allowances to be reduced for teachers. So extra hours in terms of all public servants moving up. That was their opening gambit, which you might know the INMO said at the time could not form the basis of any agreement. They could not expect any public servant, regardless of what grade or group they were, to accept that kind of further attack upon their pay and conditions when you factor in what's already been done in terms of the pension levy and pay cuts and so on. In reality, colleagues and members, we haven't moved forward a great deal since then. They have continued to say they want to make savings on the premium pay. They want to make savings on twilight and night duty. They want to make savings on numbers reduction. They want to make savings by eliminating overtime and reducing agency and so on. And they want to make saving by a wider redeployment criteria and so on. From the union sides, we have continued to say, and particularly from the INMO, we have continued to say, look, we are not in the business of agreeing to put to members any measure which reduce their income, whether that be in terms of their pay, whether that be in terms of their allowances, whether that be in terms of their premium pay, Sunday working, Saturday working, twilight, night duty, or any other area, and so on. But we haven't yet, to be honest with you, entered what I would call a bargaining situation. But there are definite storm clouds gathering. I'm not going to cod you in that. And what the INMO has been trying to do is to galvanise and gather in to one room the unions that represent staff that have a 24/7 alliance requirement, a 24/7 attendance. And for example, tomorrow morning, that's Friday morning, the 24/7 Alliance is meeting in the INMO head office. That would be people in prison officers, that would be the Gardaí, that would be the psychiatric nurses, ourselves. And we're having to establish where SIPTU is in relation to firemen, ambulance men, healthcare support workers, local authority workers and so on. And we want to try and ensure that if there is any real attempt, as opposed to just talking about it, to hit premium pay, allowances and the earnings of people in 24/7, we have a critical mass of unions representing a critical mass of frontline workers who will be able to respond collectively and together and say, no, that's a line in the sand, we can't go there. So we are working on that, and there may well be developments in that area. I expect there will be developments in that area next week, as I think the talks perhaps enter their second half, the real half of them, where we're trying to find out what we can live with or suggest that we might live with and what we can't. And our absolute view is we cannot live and will not expect our members to live with a pay cut in any guise coming under any heading. The hours issue we'll have to take as well and see what we have to do. We're quite clearly saying we want rid of agency spend, we want direct employment. That saves money for the health service. Why are you spending money in areas that can be avoided instead of directly employing people? So we have ways they can make saving, which, if you like, are painless to the individual member. But we have to get there yet, and we're not there yet. But I don't want to, in any way underestimate that these are very difficult discussions, and we'll be updating members as we go. Our particular approach to these talks is also, focused upon two other areas. One is the senior staff nurse issue, and the fact that we have to get that back. That increment back for people, because there's now hundreds of experienced staff nurses with long service that have been robbed of their 5% increase, and we are quite clearly saying that has to be addressed as part of this. And then obviously you're all aware that we've been hit again with the government programme or attempt to introduce a new graduate scale of the 21,700, another 20% cut. We've called for a boycott. Tomorrow Friday, we have another public protest outside the HSE's offices opposite Houston Station in Dr. Stevens Hospital as a latest step in that campaign. So at the young end of the staff nurse scale we have a problem, at the long end of the staff nurse scale we have a problem, and they have to be addressed as part of these Croke Park extension talks. So it's an extremely challenging agenda. Ultimately, members, another thing I was going to say to you tonight, had I been able to come down, is that whatever measures come out or do not come out, they will be put to our members in a ballot, if you like. If measures do emerge, you'll have the right to vote. If the talks break down, which is a real possibility, we will be coming to the members, together with other unions representing the other grades and groups and categories of public service, saying, what mandate do you want to give us? So ultimately, members will choose. Ultimately, members will decide. But I wasn't going to be sitting in front of you tonight and say, this is a good time. These are extremely difficult times, and we will only come through them by being secure with ourselves and with each other, but then equally, I understand, not being isolated from other unions that represent colleague public servants, so that we all galvanise and come together and produce a critical mass that will have a sustainable, stateable and a position which can be defended, so that our members' terms and conditions are not further attacked by this government or any other source. So colleagues, that's what I was going to say. I know Patsy will elaborate on that, because we were trying to update our own staff colleagues and so on. Please give your feedback to Patsy, because we're asking all of the lads to give feedback constantly from these branch AGMs, so that we get a sense of where members are at the moment and so on. So I hope that's a help in terms of telling you what's going on. But I think next week may be a critical week, and ultimately we'll be coming back to members via other branch regional meetings to be convened and so on, and ultimately maybe a ballot. So members will decide, but that requires them to be informed, and tonight is part of that. But there'll be other meetings, other circular updates, other webcast updates, other website newsletters, which will help to do that as well. So please participate in the discussion. Please let us know what you think, and please stay in touch with the INMO, and together, sticking together with our fellow union colleagues, we will survive this storm. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but if we divide, we'll be conquered. If we unite, we'll be sustained. And that's the order of the day. Solidarity, solidarity, solidarity. Good night, and thank you.